Greetings and welcome to the Neurotheology YouTube channel's Music in the Brain series. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about Daniel Levitin's This Is Your Brain on Music. It's an excellent book. It's endorsed by Oliver Sacks, who is a pioneer in music therapy. Daniel Levitin, he has so many resources in this book, but I particularly want to emphasize it because he talks about how music really activates and energizes our brains. So how does music activate and energize our brains? And what areas? Really so many areas. As we process the emotional content of music, our amygdala is highly involved. We engage our hippocampus as we think about our memories. Oftentimes our favorite music elicits memories from times in our life where we had peak experiences. We also engage our motor cortex. Whether or not you are playing an instrument or if you are listening to music, we're engaging our motor cortex. Our motor cortex helps us with rhythm, also helps, if you're a musician, where you place your fingers, if you're tapping your toes or clapping, how we move our body largely is through our motor cortex as well as our basal ganglia that helps us with movement. But if you're just listening to music, the rhythm really engages your motor cortex, whether or not you're moving or not. We are rhythmic creatures. So those are some of the areas. For most of us, our right hemisphere, is helping us with the overall melodic content of music, where for most of us, the left hemisphere is doing more of the semantic or the more linguistic processing of the music. If you're playing music, you're using a lot of your prefrontal cortex, especially your lateral prefrontal cortex that helps with executive function and planning. If you're improvising in music, also planning using your prefrontal cortex. So many areas of your brain are engaged in music. When we listen to music, it can help us kind of reset our brainstem, our sense of arousal, a very deep sense of arousal. So many areas, so energizing, activating, so healing. So Dan Levitin, he talks about many of these areas, but a lot of other reasons to read this book. He is a researcher. He's done a lot of research in how, especially with our favorite music, we are receiving dopamine, which is a rewarding feeling. He also was in the music industry for many years, so has a lot of background in that sense. So he also talks about music theory. So if you want to know more about how music theory relates to your brain, also an excellent book. He goes really deep into music theory, pitch and rhythm and timbre. Really an excellent book. So many reasons to read it, and hope next time you're listening to music, you feel more energized and just feel all that is good about music. And I hope this was a benefit to you. Thanks for being here. Bye.